Hello friends, welcome to Knowledge India. In this particular tutorial, we are going to talk about cross-account access. What we'll try to see here with a demo is that how can you enable a user, an IAM user, which is there in one account to be able to access resources in the other account, right? So here is the scenario which we are trying to address here, or which we are trying to see along with the demo. So there are two different AWS accounts. In order to recognize that, we are calling it KI2 and KI3. If you have seen other videos on our channel, you would be aware of these two accounts, right? So now what the situation which you have on hand is you want to allow a user, the username is Gopal, he's security auditor, and this particular user, this is an IAM user which is there in KI2 AWS account. And this guy should be able to log into KI3 account and should be able to see all the resources which are available in that particular account. Now, please understand, as this particular guy is security auditor, all he wants to do is that he should be able to just go and look at all the resources. He doesn't want to be able to, create resources or delete or modify anything. He just wants read access, right? Uh, Now, this particular scenario happens in most of the bigger enterprise organizations, because what happens is any big company or any big enterprise organization will have so many different AWS accounts depending on the department or some projects or things like that. There would be multiple AWS accounts. Now, all these big companies will have a centralized security team, right? And this security team would always want to be in a position that they can just go ahead and look into any of the accounts, right? That what is running there, what resources are running, whether the right policies are being followed or not, or things like that. Now the point is, here I'm just taking example of two AWS accounts to show you the demo. You can try to think of it on a bigger scale. Think of an organization where, let's say, you have got 20 AWS accounts. Now you cannot expect Gopal, who is security auditor, right, to actually remember 20 different username and passwords for for 20 different accounts, right? That would be very difficult for him. So what we do, rather than that, what we do is we create one user for Gopal in one of the AWS accounts. Now this particular AWS account, let's say KI2 in this case, this particular AWS account is going to be an account which will be used only by the security auditors, and it is only for the purpose of only for the purpose of, let's say, log collection, and maybe the IAM users for these security guys would be there in this particular AWS account. And then what we'll do is we will go ahead and create IAM roles in all the other 19 AWS accounts, right? And using these IAM roles, Gopal would be able to basically get inside any of the 19 AWS accounts, and he would be able to go ahead and see the resources, right? So I hope you got the context. So what we are trying to do here is, first thing is, Gopal will be there in KI2 account and he should be able to get inside KI3 account and he should be able to see the resources. Please understand, we'll not create a user for Gopal in KI3. We will not be creating a user. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll create a role in KI3 and Gopal will actually use that role and get inside KI3 account. Okay. Now, we also talked about permissions, what type of permissions Gopal should have. Now, one more scenario we'll try to see is, let's say there is another user, right? Let's say there is a new intern in the security team. The name of the intern is Komal, right? So Komal also has got an IAM user in KI2 account. Now we also want to do something, or we also want to restrict things in such a manner that Gopal should be able to log into KI3 account, but Komal which is another IAM user in KI2 AWS account, should not be able to log into KI3. So we'll try to see how can you do that as well. So be with me to go ahead and see this demo. We will try to show you step by step how can you do that. Uh, in case you have not subscribed to our channel yet, I request you to please subscribe to our channel youtube.com/knowledgeindia so that you get updates about different AWS videos which we keep bringing. Okay, please go ahead and look at all the videos which we have on our channel. All right, so now let's go to the demo part. I'll minimize this. So here is the KI3 account. So please understand that we want to get inside this account, right? Okay. Also, let me show you KI2 account. So I'm using different browsers to basically, to use different AWS accounts. I'm using different browsers. So here you can see in Edge browser, I have got KI2 logged in, and in this KI2 currently I'm logged in with the root user, of course. And inside, if I go and see, there are two IAM users which I have already created, Gopal and Komal, right? So you know how to create an IAM user, right? I've shown it already. So I've just created it, but please understand currently I have not given any permission to Gopal and Komal, right? So we will go ahead and give them permission. Now, first thing is, uh, uh, let us go ahead and create an IAM role in this particular account, which would allow Gopal to get inside this particular AWS account KI3. So we'll go to roles here and I'll say create role. Now, please understand that using roles, you can allow any AWS service or any other user to basically get the permissions, or you kind of delegate the rights to an entity. Now, in this case, we want to delegate rights to a user in another AWS account. So for that, we'll go ahead and choose this option, and we'll have to specify the account ID, the 12-digit account ID of the account where the user exists. So we'll go to this window, and here we'll try to find that what is the you know what is the what is the account number of this particular account. So we can try and pick it here. I'll just copy this. We'll take this particular account number from here and we'll specify it here. There are additional things if you want to enforce MFA, you can do that. In this case, we'll not do it. We'll just say next. And now the point is that the user, once let's say Gopal assumes this particular role which we are creating, what all he would be able to do in this account KI3. So as we discussed already, we want him to be able to just look at all the resources. So we'll go ahead and give this role read-only access. So let me go here and say read-only, and we'll say next. If you want to specify tags, you can give tags. Earlier, sometime back, roles did not have tags available, but slowly AWS is making sure that each and every service supports tags, because tags actually play a very crucial role, I would say, in terms of writing IAM permissions. So I'm planning to bring another separate video where we will talk about writing IAM permissions for a given scenario, and we'll try to understand that how can we achieve some of the scenarios by writing the IAM permissions or policies from scratch. So we'll be bringing that video as well in next couple of days. So let's go ahead and just create this role. Let's say I'm gonna call this security read only role, and we'll go ahead and say create. So once I do this, this particular role is created, and as you can see, if you go to this particular role's details, you can see that in the trust relationships, you get to understand that whom are you allowing to actually assume this particular role. So in our case, we are saying that the trusted entities are this particular account. So basically what you are saying now is that any user from this particular account would be able to assume this role. All right, so our work here is done, right? Uh, let us minimize this particular thing and go to other uh, this particular thing. Now here, uh, please understand that currently these users have got no permissions at all. So basically, if I'm logged in via this particular user, I would not be able to do anything in this account at all, right? So well, just let me go ahead and give them a read-only user, read-only permission. So I'll just go ahead and create a group, because I want to give the same permission to both. So I'm creating a group and I'm just going to call it read only group. Uh, yep. So in this, we'll just give read only access. I want all of you to closely see that in which account we are operating, so that you are not confused, right? You can see it here at the top. So we'll just go ahead and do this. And what we'll do is we will go and add both of our users, Gopal and Komal, to this particular group. All right, so this is done. So with that, you can see that Gopal and Kamal, both of them have got read-only access in this particular account in KI2. So which means that they would be able to see the resources, right? So as you can see, this particular window is for root user. So let me just do one thing. I'll go ahead and I'll go to this S3 service. See, this is KI2. So I'll just go ahead and create a bucket. I'm the root user, right? So I'll just say KI2 and I'll say create. So this seems to be available. It should allow me to create. So this is created, right? Great. I'll show you in some time why did I do that. So now I'm going to minimize this and I'll go to another window where I am logged in using the with the user Gopal. So here is the window. This is now Firefox, and in this Firefox you can see I'm currently logged in using Gopal, right? Using Gopal IAM user. So now what we want to do is we want to actually get into KI3 account, right? Using the role which we created in KI3. So we can go here and say switch role. When we say switch role, we would be able to specify the account number and the role name. How do we get it? So we'll go to this particular thing. This is the role. So we can just copy this and this is the account number. So let's pick the account number, paste it here, and the role. This is the role. So we'll do this. You can choose a color. It's up to you. If you want to give some custom name to be displayed, you can give that. Let's say I'm just giving some name, and we'll say switch. Oh, it doesn't work. Now, are you able to guess that why did it not work at this time? If you want, pause the video for a few seconds and try to think about it. All right. Now, let me tell you why did it not work. As you can see, let me press cancel here. As you can see, the user Gopal has got only read type of access, right? So if you try to go and look at the read only permissions, you will see that it gives only all the describe and basically read type of permissions it gives. Whereas when a particular user wants to assume a role, right? The API call which happens, or the command which gets called at the backend, is assume role. Now, assume role is part of which service? It is part of STS, Secure Token Service, right? So basically, you need to allow STS assume role as well to Gopal, so that he would be able to assume a role. So let us go ahead and do that. So I'll go back to KI2 root user, right? And I'll go to this particular group, let's say, and I'll add here itself. So to this group, I'll go ahead and attach a permission. where I will give STS assume role. So there is no I can go ahead and create an inline policy, or I can go ahead and create a reusable policy as well. Now in this case, I just want to use it with this particular group, so I'll go ahead and create an inline policy. We can use policy generator. So we want STS. So let's go here, security token service, and in this we are looking for assume role. So we'll say assume role. Okay, now which role do we want to allow? You can give any one role. That's also possible, that this particular user or this particular group would be able to assume only one role or only two roles. You can specify that as well, right? So you can limit things, understand that, right? But in this case, to keep it simple, I'm just gonna say star. So basically anybody, I mean, this user can go ahead and assume any role. So we'll say add statement, we'll say next step, and we'll just say apply policy. Now once this is done, you can see that this is added. We'll just minimize this window, and now we'll try to do it once again. We'll go here and we'll say switch role. Let us go ahead and pick the role name here and the account number, the 12-digit account number. Let's choose some color, and I'm just gonna call it short S role. We'll say switch. Now if you see what's happening, the user Gopal, who was actually there in KI2, has now got inside KI3. Yes. Now this is the account KI3. You can go ahead and see here has got inside KI3. Now if you want to further go ahead and check that, let's go to S3 service. To understand that, let's go to S3 service, and you can see that is able to see the bucket KI3. KI3 is the bucket which I have created in the KI3 account, of course. Already I had created. Let me show you that to you as well to verify. So you remember this one, KI3 account. So here if I go to S3, you'll be able to see the bucket created as KI3. So right. So I hope you are getting it. So Gopal is able to see that bucket, right? And if there are any objects inside this bucket, that also Gopal would be able to see. And in this way, if there are more resources running in this account, he can go ahead and see, right? Whereas I already showed you, if I actually show you account KI2, you see the bucket here is KI2, right? Just don't get confused. I have kept the names in such a way so that it is easy for you to remember. But you can see the user Gopal, who was actually there in the account KI2, is now able to see the resources of KI3. Why? Because he has switched the role. Now he can also go and just say back to Gopal. If he does that, let's see. If he does that, he has now come out of KI3 account, and now he is there in his own account KI2, and you can see now he is able to see the resources in his own account. Right? So I hope you get till this point. Now the last part and very important, we also said that Gopal should be able to assume the role, but Komal should not be able to. But currently, if you see, we have kept Gopal and Komal in the same group, and wherever we created the IAM role, there we did not restrict that which user from the other account would be able to assume the role. We just said, we just gave the account ID, right? I hope you remember. You see here, see to this particular thing here in the trust relationship, in the we just specified the account number. So basically what we did was we allowed any user from this particular account to come and assume this role. This might not be the ideal thing which you would do in the organizations. So in order to solve that, what you can do is you can go ahead and edit trust relationship. Let us go ahead and see that last part in this video. You can go ahead and press on edit trust relationship. Now this is what got generated. I mean, we just specified this account number, but at the back, you see these things got written for us. So here, if you see in the part principal, it says that who would be able to actually assume this role. right? Who would be able to assume? So we are saying ARN, AWS, IAM, this particular account number, and then root. So when it is written in this way, it's basically all the users in this particular account would be able to assume this role. That's what is meant. Now, if we want to restrict it to any one particular user, how would we do that? We will have to specify the ARN for that particular user here, and then only that user would be able to assume. Okay, so let me show you that. Um, how to do it? Let me show you. So we will go to this particular thing, and let me try to pick up the ARN for our user Gopal. Okay, so we'll go and copy this. You can see. In case you have not understood how to, how to write ARN, I have explained it in other tutorials already. Please, guys, look at the IAM videos which are already there and understand the different parts of the ARN. Now I just copied this. I'll go ahead and paste it here. So what does this mean? Now I'm saying that this particular role can be assumed by Gopal, which is a user in this particular account, right? Which is an IAM user in this particular account. So I'll go ahead and say update trust policy. Now this is done. Now we will just check once again. So I'll go back to this particular thing where Gopal is there. Let me try to switch role once again. All right, this is working well, right? Gopal was able to get inside KI3. Now let me go ahead and just say sign out. And now I will quickly log in using the second user Komal, but Komal should not be able to assume the role. So I'll go ahead and say AWS Management Console. All right, just be ready to see this. I hope you are understanding. See, many of the times people create roles, but they do not understand the trust relationship part. That's very, very important. When you are creating the roles and you expect users from different account to assume that, just do not keep it wide open, right? You can go ahead and basically narrow it down only to those users, to allow only those users which you actually want, that they should be just assuming that role. You can do it. So let me go ahead and log in using Komal. Let's give it a minute here, and once Komal is logged in, as you can see, just to verify, we will go ahead and open S3. As you can see, this is, this one is KI2, so Komal should be able to see KI2. Good. Now let us try to do, let us try to assume the role. Now it is showing up in the history, so great. I'll just go ahead and click on this and see if I am able to get inside. It's not able to switch role. Why did it happen? It happened because we have made it strict there, right? That's why. So I hope you get this point. So we have achieved whatever we talked. What we understood in this particular tutorial is how to create IAM role for cross account access, how to restrict the trust relationship further, and to basically tighten it so that you are able to allow only a particular user and not others from that particular account. I'm sure in your organization, in your setup, you'll try to go ahead and use this. And if you have any comments on that, feel free to appreciate or to ask it in the comment section. If you like the video, if you understood the stuff, please like and share it. Okay, so more videos will come soon. Till then, take care, guys. Bye bye. See you again soon.